Hey, you. Yeah, you. If you're an older guy who still wonders why younger women don't seem to look at you the way they used to, let's not sugarcoat this. It's not your age. It's not your hairline. It's something much darker. It's the habits you've let slip in, quiet, slow, unnoticed, that are killing your attraction like a slow poison. Today, I'm going to expose 4 habits that make older men instantly unattractive to younger women. If you want honesty, raw psychology, and no fluff, you're in the right place. And trust me, if you don't stop these, it doesn't matter how much money you make or how nice your car is, she'll still feel off around you. Let's dive in. Habit number 1, the dad mode syndrome. You start giving advice she didn't ask for, correcting her, lecturing her, trying to guide her like she's your daughter. Newsflash, younger women aren't looking for a father figure. They want a partner with presence, not a principal with rules. What starts as helpful wisdom quickly turns into controlling, boring, and out-of-touch energy. Dark truth, this comes from ego. It's a desperate attempt to validate your superiority when deep down, you fear being irrelevant. You don't need to teach her a lesson. You need to reconnect with your polarity. Here's what's really happening psychologically. When you slip into dad mode, you're subconsciously positioning yourself as the authority figure. But attraction doesn't work that way. Attraction happens between equals who challenge each other, not between a teacher and student. Think about it. When she tells you about her job, her dreams, her struggles, your first instinct is to fix it, to give her the benefit of your experience. But what you're really doing is communicating that you don't trust her intelligence, her capability, her judgment. And nothing dries up attraction faster than feeling infantilized. The psychology here is brutal. Every time you correct her, you're unconsciously telling her she's not good enough as she is. You're positioning yourself as superior. And while that might stroke your ego, it kills the sexual tension dead. Women want to feel seen, heard, and valued, not managed. Ever notice how the guys who get the girl don't say much at all? There's power in restraint. You don't have to dominate the conversation to be dominant. Habit number 2, the bitterness aura. This one's ugly and far too common. You talk about how things were better back then. You bash modern dating, complain about apps, trash talk her generation. You ooze resentment. And resentment is the opposite of attraction. Here's the psychological truth. When a man is stuck in nostalgia, it tells her you're no longer in motion. You're a museum piece, not a force of nature. And younger women, they don't want to babysit your bitterness. They want to feel your fire. Let me paint you a picture of what this looks like in action. You're out with her, and she mentions something about social media. Immediately, you launch into a rant about how people don't connect anymore. And back in my day, we actually talked face to face. In your mind, you're being wise, philosophical, sharing hard-earned life lessons. In her mind, you're being the old guy who can't adapt, the bitter man who's given up on life and is now judging everyone else's choices. Here's the brutal psychology. Bitterness is fear wearing a mask. Fear that the world has moved on without you. Fear that you can't keep up. Fear that maybe, just maybe, you're becoming obsolete. And women can smell fear from a mile away. When you constantly reference the past as better, you're communicating that your best days are behind you, that you've peaked, that you're in decline. But younger women aren't attracted to decline. They're attracted to growth, possibility, expansion. They want to feel like they're getting on a rocket ship, not boarding the Titanic. Every complaint you make tells her you're no longer chasing life, you're just reacting to it. Habit number 3, chasing validation instead of giving challenge. This one stings. You're too nice, too agreeable. You shower her with compliments and overcompensate with gifts, attention, approval. And it reeks of insecurity. You've forgotten what makes attraction magnetic. Polarity, mystery, Unpredictability. She wants a man who is centered, not a man who seeks her approval like a lost puppy. Psychology says people value what they earn. If you give her everything before she's earned it, you become disposable. Let's get specific about what this looks like. She cancels plans last minute? You immediately say, "No problem, whatever works for you." She's rude to the waiter? You stay silent because you don't want to risk conflict. She makes a decision you disagree with. You nod along anyway. You think you're being mature, understanding, the good guy. But what you're actually doing is surrendering your backbone. You're communicating that your opinions, your time, your standards don't matter. And if they don't matter to you, why should they matter to her? Here's the dark psychology. When you chase validation, you flip the power dynamic. Instead of being the prize she wants to win, you become the fan, hoping for her attention. Think about your favorite restaurant. Is it the one that's always empty, begging you to come in with constant discounts and free appetizers? Or is it the one with a waiting list where getting a table feels like an achievement? Scarcity creates value. Availability destroys it. When you're always available, always agreeable, always saying yes, you train her to take you for granted. You become the emotional equivalent of fast food, convenient, predictable, and ultimately forgettable. Real attraction requires tension, push and pull, challenge and reward. She doesn't want a man who thinks she's perfect. She wants a man who sees her flaws and chooses her anyway. But that requires you to actually have standards, to be willing to walk away if those standards aren't met. Think about the last time someone gave you everything without effort. Did you cherish it or discard it? Habit number 4, emotional dry rot. You stopped evolving. Same stories, same routines, same thoughts. You've become predictable. And nothing kills desire faster than knowing exactly what you're going to say before you say it. Here's the dark truth most men won't hear. If you're not growing, you're dying. You may not be boring to your friends, but to a younger woman full of curiosity and chaos, you're a walking snooze. Women, especially younger ones, are drawn to men who keep them mentally stimulated, not in a clownish, entertaining way, but in a "this man is going somewhere" kind of way. This is the most insidious habit because it happens gradually. You stop reading new books, stop learning new skills, stop having new experiences. You settle into your routines, your comfort zones, your established patterns, and slowly, without realizing it, you become mentally stagnant. Here's what's happening psychologically. Younger women aren't in their expansion phase. They're discovering who they are, what they want, where they're going. Their minds are hungry, curious, constantly seeking new input and experiences. When they encounter a man who's stopped growing, it's like watching a movie they've already seen. They know all the plot points. They can predict every conversation. There's no mystery, no discovery, no sense of adventure. But it goes deeper than just being boring. When you stop evolving, you stop being inspiring. And inspiration is a massive component of attraction. She doesn't just want to be attracted to your body or your resources. She wants to be attracted to your mind, your vision, your trajectory. Think about the most attractive people you know. What makes them magnetic isn't just their looks or success. It's their energy, their sense of possibility, the feeling that being around them expands your own world. When you stop growing, you lose that energy. You become a black hole instead of a star, sucking energy instead of radiating it. Your mind is your sex appeal. When it decays, so does everything else. The deeper psychology. What's really happening? Now that we've exposed these 4 habits, let's talk about the deeper psychology at work. All of these habits stem from the same root, the fear of being irrelevant. As men age, society sends subtle and not so subtle messages that their value is diminishing. Their physical peak is behind them. Their cultural relevance is fading. Their best before date is approaching. And many men internalize these messages. They start operating from a place of scarcity instead of abundance, fear instead of confidence, reaction instead of action. But here's what they don't understand. Relevance isn't about age. It's about energy. It's about being someone who adds value to every room they enter, every conversation they join, every life they touch. Younger women aren't rejecting older men because of their age. They're rejecting the energy that many older men carry, the energy of decline, desperation, and defeat. The path forward, reclaiming your power. So, what now? If these 4 habits hit home, you've got 2 options. Dismiss this message, keep doing what you're doing, or wake the hell up and start rewiring your patterns. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming who you are meant to be before you let life tame you. Drop the dad act. Instead of lecturing, listen. Instead of correcting, curiosity. Ask questions that show you're genuinely interested in her perspective, not questions designed to lead her to your conclusion. Kill the bitterness. Stop living in the past and start building the future. If you don't like how the world has changed, don't complain. Create something better. Channel that energy into contribution, not criticism. Stop chasing. Start being worth chasing. Develop standards. Have boundaries. Be willing to walk away from people and situations that don't meet your criteria. Scarcity creates value, but only if you actually are scarce. Start evolving. Read books that challenge your thinking. Take up hobbies that push your boundaries. Travel to places that expand your worldview. Engage with ideas that make you uncomfortable. Growth is the antidote to irrelevance. Remember, younger women don't need you to be young. They need you to be alive. Alive means growing. Alive means challenging. Means unpredictable in the best possible way. If you found this message uncomfortably true, that's a good sign. It means something inside you wants to change, and that's powerful. Because the moment you decide to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your experience, everything changes. You stop being the older guy hoping for scraps of attention. You become the man who commands respect simply by walking into a room. Not because of your age, not in spite of your age, but because of who you choose to become at any age. The choice is yours. The time is now. What you do next is on you. But remember, every day you wait is another day the habits get stronger. Every excuse you make is another step toward irrelevance. Every moment you spend in denial is another opportunity wasted. The world doesn't owe you attraction, but you owe yourself the chance to earn it. So earn it. Your wake-up call has been delivered. What you do with it is up to you.